Welcome to Form 3 Agriculture Digital Content. Agriculture is an important subject in our day-to-day life. In Form 1 and 2, you are introduced to both crop and livestock practices. In Form 3, you will continue broadening the content scope using the following topics: livestock selection and breeding, livestock rearing practices, farm structures, land tenure and land reform, soil and water conservation, weeds and weed control, crop pests and diseases, crop field practices 2, forage crops and livestock diseases. You will also have the opportunity to learn new skills as you navigate through Form 3 Agriculture Digital Content and practice answering examination questions as a preparation for the subject evaluation. Practical activities are also suggested to link theory and practice. Welcome and enjoy Form 3 Agriculture Digital Content. Livestock Production 3. Selection and Breeding. Introduction. Before selecting the breeding stock, it is good to have the knowledge of reproduction system of the animal. Breeding is the process of mating selected male and female animals to produce offspring with required traits or characteristics.
The importance of the livestock sector in Kenya cannot be underestimated. Employment at all stages of livestock production and surplus production over domestic demand for exports. Best breed sires suitable for this country. Freshen, originally sired from America and Europe. They are also popular with dairy farmers in high potential areas of Kenya. These bulls have sired highly productive daughters on various farms throughout the country. The Ganzi bull, first breed introduced into the Central Artificial Insemination Station in 1946 from America. Semen demand from this breed is high despite a low population within the country. The Jersey bull was introduced in 1946 from Scotland. It's a dairy animal for small and medium-scale dairy farmers. It's characterized by milk with the highest butterfat levels.
North into this ranching country here and so-called improved the indigenous Buran to suit. They improved it to make it a bigger animal to suit the conditions that we have here in Laikipia and Lithuania. This is Buran becoming quality breed that is recognized all over Africa for its ability to produce food off grass. It is resistant to the drier times, it is resistant to tick-borne diseases. That is why
the next step is to tie the apron around the chest or the back. That one helps when you are doing semen collection. The penis will not get into contact with the body.
The station also offers specialized services to customers such as on-farm semen collection and collection of samples for testing of reproductive diseases. A contract mating program was started in 1970. Farmers participate.
Match the following statements with the correct factor that should be considered when selecting breeding stock. Specific lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to describe reproduction in livestock. By the end of this topic, you should be able to describe reproduction and reproductive systems, select breeding stock, describe breeding systems, identify signs of heat in livestock, describe method of serving livestock. Background information. In Form 1, you learnt about importance of livestock and the various species of livestock and breeds. In Form 2, you studied nutritional requirements of livestock and classified various feedstuffs into roughages and concentrates. You also studied the digestive systems of ruminants and non-ruminants. Finally, you computed livestock rations using the Pearson square. In this topic, you shall learn the reproductive systems of different farm animals before studying the various aspects of livestock breeding. Class activities. Learners to visit a nearby farm and practice selection of suitable breeding stock. This can be done by examining many animals of each species in a farm and to select suitable ones with such characteristics: records of performance of parents, body conformation, level of performance, healthy status, temperament, and age. Teacher to lead learners in visiting a nearby slaughterhouse to study the reproductive organs of cattle and poultry. Learners to visit a livestock farm to study the following: make observations on signs of heat in cows and pigs, observe natural mating in cattle, observe how artificial insemination carried out in cows, observe signs of parturition in sheep. The table below shows parts of bull's reproductive system. Match the parts to their respective functions by dragging and dropping. The following statements are advantages and disadvantages of artificial insemination. Indicate them as either advantage or disadvantage by clicking on the appropriate column. Type in the appropriate details in the table provided below. Gestation period in some farm animals. Indicate whether the following statements are true or false. Type in the boxes the 3 methods used in selecting breeding stock. The list below shows the materials added to an egg within the reproductive system of a hen. Drag and drop them against the part of the reproductive system. Glossary. A dominant gene is one that is expressed in an offspring. A recessive gene is a gene that is suppressed by another one. Crossbreeding is mating of animals of 2 different pure breeds. Inbreeding involves mating of animals that are related. Line breeding is mating of distantly related animals with a common ancestor. Outcrossing is mating of animals of the same breed. Upgrading is mating of a pure breed sire with a low-grade cow. Hybrid vigor is increased performance resulting from crossing 2 superior animals. Epitasis is the combination of genes which individually could have been undesirable. Mass selection is choosing animals for breeding on the basis of their own performance. Reproduction is the process by which offspring are produced. The process of reproduction takes place in the organs shown below. Reproduction and reproductive system. Reproduction is the process by which offspring are produced. Reproductive system consists of all those organs involved in reproduction. In this topic, you will learn the reproductive system of both male and female farm animals. Reproductive system of a bull. The male reproductive organs in the various mammalian species are similar in form and function. The testes or testicles in the male are the primary sex organs and are held in a sac called the scrotum. They produce spermatozoa and the male hormone testosterone. Reproductive system of a bull consists of testes, epididymis, sperm ducts, accessory glands, and penis. Reproductive system of a cow. The reproductive system of a cow consists of ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, and vulva. By clicking on a gland's name, identify all the accessory glands found in a bull's reproductive system from the list below: prostate gland, bladder, sheath, seminal vesicle. Reproductive system in poultry. Reproduction in poultry is different from other farm animals. For example, the cock has no penis. Instead, it has a small opening near the vent through which sperms are released. It has testes within its body. Reproductive system of a hen. Reproductive system of a hen consists of the following: ovary, magnum, funnel, isthmus, uterus, vagina, and cloaca. Estrus is the time the female has ovulated or is about to ovulate and is receptive to the male. Cow on heat shows the following sign of heat: mounting others, and when mounted, it stands still: bellowing, frequent urination, restlessness, slight drop in body temperature, swelling and reddening of the vulva, and clear or slimy mucus discharge from the vulva. Methods of service in livestock. There are 3 methods of service in livestock, namely natural mating, artificial insemination, and embryo transplant.
I'm going to thaw the straw here. And now this is the thawing. This is the canister we use for bringing it to normal temperature in order to introduce it to the animal. And you have to give it at least 15 seconds. After thawing, you dry it. You fix it inside the pistolette. And now I'm cutting it to open to allow the semen to go through. It is always sealed. Now I'm going to cover it to make sure. Now I have to use soap to lubricate the animal. I have to go through the rectum. In order to reach the cervix. If the animal, when the animal is on heat, if you insert your hand the way I have done, you must see mucus coming out. Now this animal is ready for service. That's why you can see the mucus coming out. Now I'm going to introduce this inside. You have to make it open a little. It needs to go inside. You don't have to let it get that from outside, from the outer part of the vulva. Now the cervix is in my hand, and you have to make sure it goes through the cervix, because behind the cervix the sperms might not swim. Then you identify we have two horns. The body of the uterus, then it is through now. Then there is a place where you are supposed to drop the sperms, not anywhere. So after getting to that part, now I can hear it. I'm through. So I have to deposit my semen like this. Then we wait for a cow after 9 months. If the animal has no another problem, now we are waiting for a calf.
Use the statements below the table to give the advantages and disadvantages of natural mating. Drag and drop them into the appropriate columns respectively. Signs of parturition. Parturition or labor is the act of giving birth to young one. It marks the termination of pregnancy.